everyone, welcome back to our Accounting 210 Chapter 8. Last time we talked about the second scenario is that whether we should discontinue a product or department. Our criteria is we have to look at the money we will save by the avoidable fixed cost, comparing that with the money we will lose from losing the contribution margin. So we did the textbook example. I want to do this example with you to give you more idea. Let's look at this one. It's from your textbook. The company has 3 departments, men, women, and then accessories. Allocate all fixed costs based on department square footage. Departmental operating income data is for this. The store will remain the same building regardless of whether any of the departments are discontinued. Should the company discontinue any of the department, yes or no, right? So for the men, for the women, there is nothing really to worry because their operating income, they are positive. So we don't need to worry about this too. For the accessories, okay, now you look at this total operating income, you think it's 15,000. So you are kind of wondering, should we discontinue this? Yes or no? Remember, our criteria is we compare the avoidable fixed cost with the contribution margin we will lose. So let's say for the accessory, I put it here, accessories. So the money we will save with the money we will lose. Okay, so if we discontinue this accessory department, we just focus on this one. The contribution margin is 11,000. So if you discontinue it, you will not have this revenue, right? So you will not have this variable cost. Basically, you will lose 11,000. That's the money we will lose. We will lose 11,000. But how much money can we save? Do we save anything? Remember, the fixed cost is at 26,000. Do we save this 26,000? Do we save any avoidable fixed cost? So the save is from avoidable fixed cost. Let's read the question one more time very carefully. Your fixed cost, okay, is unavoidable. First said, the fixed cost, the unavoidable depreciation and utility is based on the department square footage. It's based on the square footage. And the next sentence said, the store will remain in the same building regardless of whether any of the departments are discontinued. So what's the meaning? Even you discontinue the accessories, even you discontinue this department, the store will be the same. The store will be the same. So there is no change for the square footage. So there is no saving for the fixed cost. There is no avoidable fixed cost. So basically, we save 0. So we save 0, we will lose 11,000. Should we discontinue, yes or no? The answer is very clear, right? We should not discontinue. We should not discontinue. We should still keep this department. Okay, that's it. That's it for this question. So I want to review very briefly. So far, we have talked about 2 scenarios. We said the first scenario is we should take a special order, yes or no, and our criteria is we look at the relevant revenue with the relevant cost. The second scenario is whether we should discontinue a product, yes or no. We look at the money we will save from avoidable fixed cost with the money we will lose from the contribution margin. Okay, next one, we talk about this one very briefly, and then we do maybe example together later. Okay, so next scenario 3 is said, what should we do? Which product we should focus if we have the resource constraint? If we have the resource constraint, okay? If we have a resource constraint into product mix. So let's look at this question. Just look at this one, and then I'll let you think about the logic. You have two products. You have shirts, and then you have jeans. Okay, don't even worry too many things. We look at this one. The selling price shirt is $30, jeans is $60. Variable cost the shirt is 12, jeans is 48. And so the contribution margin is 18 versus 12. So let's just look at this one. Let's look at this one. You also have the contribution margin ratio is 60% and 20%. From chapter 7, we said we should focus the one with a higher contribution margin. So in this example, we should just, if we just, that's all we have, our shirt has more contribution margin and a higher contribution margin percentage than the jeans. Jeans is 12 and 20%. So we should produce a lot of shirts, right? We should just produce shirts. We should produce shirts. But there is one constraint, is you only have limited merchant hours. You only have limited merchant hours. You just have maybe like, I don't know how many merchant hours, like textbook said 2,000 merchant hours. So you only have a limited merchant hours. So for one merchant hour, you can get 10 shirts. Okay, for one merchant hour, you can get 20 jeans. Which product should you focus on if you only have limited merchant hours? Think about this. Hey, you are taking our accounting 210. You are taking another class. I don't know. I just say a management. Okay, a management 310. You are taking accounting 210. You are taking management 310. So let's say if you have unlimited time, you should do both, right? If you have unlimited time, you should do both. But now every day you just have 24 hours. You just have 24 hours. So which course you should focus on? You will tell me, hey, I should focus on the one that gives me more points. If I study 1 hour or I just study 24 hours, I should focus on the one that gives me more points for every given hour. Right? Similarly, for the shirt and the jeans, if you have unlimited time, you should produce both, kind of, or produce the one with a higher contribution margin. But now you only have a limited merchant hours. And for 1 hour, you produce 10 units of shirts, but you can produce 20 units of jeans. In that situation, which product should you focus on? I leave this question to you, and I check my answer with you next time. Thank you. I see you next time.